Alright, so what's going on? My name's James IZ. James IZ. I said that correctly the first time, did I? I don't know if I did. Editor, can I get like an instant replay on that? So what's going on? My name's James IZ. Alright, thank you. Anyways, fellas, back onto the topic at hand here. So I found this 22-minute video full of TikToks of women complaining about not wanting kids or anything, not doing what they were put on earth to do, right? Which is to reproduce and have children with men who build things and, you know, form societies and form countries or some bull like that, I guess, right? Apparently there's a birth rate decline or like a birth rate crisis somewhere out there in the world. I'm sure there's someone out there who's more intelligent than me and is better at making videos than me that could explain it better and has actual studies of it, but I don't believe any studies I see on the internet, to be honest with you. I kind of just record YouTube videos and I just go outside and lift weights and enjoy my real life, you know what I mean? My outside world, you know, like the outside world, like, you know, like the real life, it's spiritually 2006, so I don't know what the everyone is talking about and or complaining about, but I'm gonna get straight into this video.
There should have been a yes or no option before we were born to see if we wanted to live here or not, and there should have been a trailer about how life would end up.
Well, there isn't, so get over it. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's not an option, so you're gonna have to live with it, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Deal with the cards that you were dealt with. You know what I mean, sweetheart? Woo, woo.
Just to see if we were built for this life, because I'm not. You're telling me that I don't have no choice but to be here?
Honestly, say if like you could tell your dick size before you were even born. I mean, say if I knew that I was gonna have like a 3-inch dick, I probably wouldn't be born. I would probably just be reincarnated into another baby somewhere down the future or something. I don't know how that would work.
So if I just jump off my roof right now, then what? You're telling me that eggs are $10 and I just have to deal with it?
Either deal with it or actually do something about it. I mean, there's only like a limited amount of things that like you could truly do about it. You can make more money. That's something that like you can do about it. You can make so much money to the point that you don't give a fuck if the eggs were $40. You know what I mean?
You're telling me that I have to live with the gas prices? The gas, and then on top of that, I live in Ohio. Why is rent $1,300 and up here?
And to add on top of that, bro, there's nothing really going on in Ohio besides doing drugs and I guess becoming a famous YouTuber. The Paul brothers, I Show Speed, a couple other people, you know what I mean? Like some of the biggest YouTube came out of the state of Ohio, okay?
You don't hear nobody saying, oh my gosh, I want to go to Ohio so bad. Like, oh my gosh, like that's literally my favorite place in the whole.
Listen, if LeBron was playing there in Cleveland, bro, I would go into credit card debt just to buy a private jet flight to Cleveland right now if LeBron James was playing that night.
When you say that you don't want kids, people be so motherfucking mad, and the first thing they're gonna do is call you selfish. But you'll be told, what's selfish about not having kids? What is selfish about knowing that you will not be able to be selfless enough, or you wouldn't be financially stable enough, or you wouldn't be mentally capable of taking care of a child?
Well, that's the thing though, because it doesn't matter how you feel. It only matters on how you raise the child. It is a bit selfish. As long as you're aware of that, then I guess it's fine. But clearly she isn't aware of that like she is being selfish. And
I genuinely be forgetting that people my age have kids. So when somebody asks me like, do you have any kids? I'd be like, do I have some kids? Because you looking at the baby. You are looking at the baby. What do you mean, do I have kids?
Are you in your 30s, single with no kids? That's a bit alarming, sweetheart. I think you should get to it.
They should make apartment complexes that don't allow kids. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Like, they should have an age restriction.
Well, it's not like a discrimination of some sort. That's an easy lawsuit right there. I think even back in the day, like, you weren't even able to get an apartment if you didn't have a family. I think that was a thing. I don't know for sure.
Frontal lobe develops 25 to 35. No kids. And if you have kids, once that child starts walking, you got to leave. Because the complexes for senior citizens, right? You gotta be 65, no kids, no nothing.
I'm pretty sure that like those senior living homes, that's like a government thing or like a private owned business. I feel like hospitals are also funding those too.
You can't have your family live there. And it's all full adults.
Oh yeah, bro. And then like those senior citizens, like those elderly people living in those homes, they're fucking like crazy in them too. They fucking each other in there like crazy.
One is falling. Complexes just like grown and these are running. You hear their little feet. These kids are away.
This woman complaining about other people having kids around her, bro, is just insane. She's gone on like a 3-minute rant about this shit. The fuck?
Now, this is gonna sound extremely entitled, but one of the reasons that I don't want to become a mom right now is because if we ever decide to have kids, the stipulation will be that I'm gonna need some staff, okay? Like I'm gonna need a nanny, a night nurse, potentially some sort of membership deal with Uber to where I don't have to drive all the time.
How does a woman get a baby? A man puts his seed inside of her. Why would you need an Uber service when you have a man that should be taking care of you and the child? She's talking about her future in a motherhood. The idea of having a husband and or the father around isn't in that idea, apparently. I don't understand that. Okay.
I want to have the flexibility to do other things and still have some separation and not have to be like overstimulated and tired and just run down all the time. And I say that because I enjoy my life the way it is right now. I enjoy...
Okay, then don't have kids then and get the fuck off TikTok complaining about being a mother when you're not a mother. This is such a non-issue. Why the fuck would you come onto TikTok then talking about this then? If you enjoy your life so much, just shut the fuck up.
Imagine coming home from like a stressful day of work and there's someone in your house who's like asking you questions like, what are we eating for dinner? Shut the up.
Yeah, bro, that's why you beat that. This is the same shit that like my mother went through when I was a kid. Just, hey mom, what are we having for dinner? And she just wants nothing to do with me. That's how it is, sweetheart. That's how it is, baby.
I hate how people are trying to stray away from the money conversation when it comes to dating.
Oh, 100%, sweetheart. I totally agree. Money does matter, especially when dating and relationships and having a family. 100%.
You know how the sun is going to engulf the earth in 7.5 billion years? I care about the falling birth rate as much as I care about that. Human beings are incredibly adaptive. They'll adapt. They will have to adapt. So when people use this argument like, oh no, what about, we're not gonna have human beings society? They'll figure it out. They will quite literally figure it out.
I think they will figure it out by, well, having test tube babies. I think we are going to get to a certain point in time where science is so developed to the point that we don't even need to have sex anymore to have children, and we're just going to have test tube babies. You can just customize them, make them superior to normal humans, and then they're going to have like a superiority complex and like somewhat of a god complex, and think that us normal birth humans are inferior and we should go extinct. There should only be the superior test tube babies. That's what I think is gonna happen. How about you?
So if the majority of people who can afford luxuries are middle upper class, namely white folk, and y'all are calling children luxuries, then what does that mean for us as a society going forward? Who's having the kids?
If you go outside, if like you get off the internet and actually go touch grass literally and go outside, I see pregnant women all the time walking around with their man. I see it all the time. So I don't know what these people are talking about, but
if you are not wealthy, the US government has sold you a pipe dream about having a family. In our country, we are sold a pipe dream of the American family. They go to work, they love their kids, everything's perfect and fine, and you're doing what? Contributing to society and humanity.
Okay, I think that's how it was back in the 50s and 60s.
I'm child free, and the freedom it gives me, not only in my finances, but my entire life, is something I wouldn't trade for the world.
Okay, what's the point of going on the TikTok and making this whole edit, like this whole room edit of you just talking about not having kids? My life is so perfect, I don't have kids, oh god. Like, what the fuck is the point of making these types of videos? Is it to rage bait people? What is the point of this? Why would you post this? What are you trying to prove here?
Job, I can just quit. No worrying about my child's health care or another mouth to feed. If I don't like where I'm living, I can just move. No worrying about...
My job is too toxic, I'll just quit. I don't like where I'm living, I'll just move. Dude, oh my god, dude, no one cares, bro. Who the fuck even are you? Who gives a fuck?
There's this creator on here that made a TikTok saying about how like the childless are ungovernable. And I think the movement is called like anti-natalism, I think that's what it's called. And him talking about like how basically once you have kids, you can't take financial risks, you can't do what you want, you can't be who you want, because everything you have to like think about the kids. And it reminds me of this time when I was in my early 20s. I had a boss who once like walked in and there was like a group of salespeople in a room. And I'll never forget the time she literally was like, yeah, I love when y'all have mortgages and I love when y'all have kids. Obviously, I didn't have either at the time. She was like, I love when y'all have mortgages and I love when y'all have kids, because that basically means you're like committed to work for me.
That is actually a crazy thing to say out loud. I'm so glad that you guys have a family and a mortgage. You're basically trapped and it's going to be hard for you to leave your job. Like, saying that out loud is actually insane. And you should really consider actually finding a new job after that. Like, what the fuck was that?
Basically saying like her most loyal employees like have mortgages and have kids, and I don't have either. And I think that's why, I mean, I've definitely always been like anti-kids since my like teenage years, and of course everybody's like, you're gonna change your mind, you're gonna change your mind, and I'm 32 now, and I unequivocally never ever want kids.
Okay, so he's 32 now, and he is just set in stone that, hey man, I'm not gonna continue on with my own bloodline. Wow, that's how noble of you, man. Okay.
Statistically speaking, when you're born poor in this country, you're probably going to die poor, and your kids are going to be in the same boat.
Skill issue. That's a skill issue. Huge skill issue. Skill issue. That seems to be the last of it right there. Just a bunch of women complaining about having kids and all that other stuff, and complaining about having a family and all that type of stuff. And you know what? I think it's sad. Now, for me personally, I know in the future that I'll definitely end up having kids, getting married. I mean, sure, I guess. I don't even know for sure. As a matter of fact, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen in the future? And none of us can actually truly tell what's gonna happen in the future. You know what I mean? Maybe that 32-year-old man, he'll probably stumble across a nice young lady that's around the same age as him. He'll get her knocked up when like he's 33 or some bullshit. Like, who knows? I think people should have kids. I mean, like, that's the point of us even being here on this earth. If we didn't have like this whole society around this, or like, you know, this whole matrix, I guess we would all just be lazy and, you know, doing cave drawings and shit like normal cavemen, right? It's like natural for us to have sex with each other and to reproduce and have children. So I'm out of here. I'm done here. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. So, you know, like the video. So yeah, all that type of stuff. I'm out of here. Bye.